today we're talking about our friends at our school community. So today we have a special guest, Mr. Meyers.
Hey, Mr. Meyers.
Hello, Extra.
So what exactly is your job?
Well, I'm the superintendent of the school district, so I'm the man who's in charge of everything at Standard School District. So I'm the big boss, as you might say. I think for our little kiddos and kinder who are wondering about what that looks like, I think you know that your teacher's in charge of their classroom, and then their principal is in charge of teachers, and I'm in charge of the principals.
That's crazy.
That sounds like a really stressful job. That sounds like a lot of work. But you do a great job at it.
Well, thank you.
You're doing wonderfully. So how long have you been doing your job?
Here at Standard, I came in at 2013, before most of these little kiddos were even born. So this is my 8th year here at Standard. And prior to that, I was a superintendent up in Humboldt County in Eureka, which is way at the northern end of the state. So I came from Humboldt, which is cold and wet and rainy, to Bakersfield, which is hot and dry.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, it's a big change.
We like change, and we love our pool.
Oh, yeah. Miss S wants a pool someday. So for your job, did you have to do any special schooling or training in order to be able to do your job?
Yes. Before you can become a principal, you have to be a teacher first. So I started as a 6th grade teacher in Big Bear Lake in the mountains. And so I worked as a teacher for almost 10 years. And then I became a school counselor. And then I became a school principal. And then I became a school superintendent. So each level had more education. So in order to get a teaching degree, I had to go to college and get a teaching credential, and that's known as a bachelor's degree. It's a 4-year degree out of a state university. And so once I got my teaching credential, I went back to school to get a master's degree, which is they call it a post-secondary credential or a degree, and it's a master's degree where I specialized on school counseling, and I worked with young kids who had some problems at school, or whether it be just getting along with friends, or maybe there was their dog had died and they were sad and they needed some help. So that's kind of what I did for a few years. And then I went back to school again to get another master's degree in school administration, because I felt like I could make a big difference if I was the principal to improve the school. And so then after I became a principal, and I did that for 7 years or so, I felt like it was time to try something a little bigger, a little more challenging. And so I took on a job as a superintendent. That one did not require any more education, because a superintendent's job is so unique in California that you don't have a job, you don't have a degree for it. You learn on the job. And so all it requires to be a superintendent is to have prior experience in administration and teaching, and you can become a superintendent. But of course, there's only 1,000 superintendents in the state of California. And there are 6 million students and over 10,000 schools, but only 1,000 superintendents. So it's a rare and hard job to obtain. And once we get these jobs, we tend to hold on until we retire, which is what my goal is.
I would too.
Yes, it took a lot to get there.
2 master's degrees?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. What's your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of the job, wow, that's a hard one, because I feel like I have a lot of things that I like to do. And I think the favorite part about my job is I get to do a lot of different things every day. I was one of those kids, you could call it, that had attention deficit. I was interested in everything. I've always been interested in everything. I like to do a lot of things. So with my job, I get to hire people. I get to build new schools. I get to do the budget. I get to go to committee meetings and pick out what kind of curriculum. I get to choose what kind of computers we're going to use. I get my hands in a lot of different things. And so if you're one of those people who like to do lots of things and is easily distracted by doing lots of things because everything seems fun and interesting, superintendent's not a bad job, because I never know what's going to what email I'm going to get, what phone call, who might come in the door with a problem, or what thing I need to fix at my school to make it better for our kids.
That's amazing.
I know. That's pretty awesome.
You sound really busy.
Really busy.
The great thing about being busy, though, is I got a lot of great people who support me. And so that as a superintendent, I'm more of a teller than I am a doer. And what I mean by that is there's people who do jobs at the school, but someone has to tell them what to do. So I'm more of the teller. I tell people what to do, but I don't actually do a lot of the hard work. A lot of the hard work is done by my staff and the people who work for me to help support the schools. My job is to lead them. So in a sense, I'm like the coach, and my staff is like the football players on the field. And I kind of maybe call the plays, and I tell them what to do in the huddle, but I don't get to actually play with the ball much. It's the teachers and the principals at the school sites who are actually making things happen at our schools. And our wonderful aides that work in our classroom to support our teachers, all those people, the secretaries, all the custodians, which, by the way, today is Custodian Day.
It is.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
We could not do our jobs without custodians because our schools wouldn't be clean and healthy for us to come to. So everybody, it's all part of a team. And we often call it the standard team, or sometimes I even call it the standard family. And I'm at the head of that family, or the coach of that team, to help lead it and guide it and to make it the best as possible.
Yeah.
What a beautiful metaphor.
I was hoping that the kids would understand that those are things they could relate to.
That's pretty
Because I
good.
think the superintendent, when I come into a kindergarten class, they often call me president. Tie and gray hair oftentimes. That I don't want to wear a tie right now because we're in distance learning and I don't feel I need to. But oftentimes I would wear a tie, and then when I come into a school, they think, "Oh, that's the president." And I said, "No, I'm a superintendent." They go, "What's that?" And so we're like the president, but of a school district.
Yes. And I love being part of the Standard family. It's a very happy place.
This is all so sweet.
Do you have any cool tools that you use at your job?
Well, besides this one that we all need to be using.
That's our favorite too, isn't it?
My other favorite tool is my phone, because wherever I'm at, I can be reached. And being the man in charge, I would say this is the hardest part of the job. My job is 24/7. If I get a phone call in the middle of the night because one of the schools got broken into, I need to be ready for it. If one of my teachers gets sick, is in the hospital, I need to be ready for that call. So I'm always on call. Even on vacation, I have to have my phone with me. So that's the hard part of the job, is you never really get to take a break. But I do get to hand it off and let other people be in charge. But when something really bad happens, I still have to step up and do what I need to do to lead the district. So this is my connection to everything, no matter where I'm at. I have to have this tool. And so a lot of your parents have this tool, and they need it to connect to you or to their partner. It's a very important tool. So computers are really the way of the future. But what it allows me to do is to leave my office, visit schools, visit sometimes even houses. I get to do lots more things because I have this to connect me and make sure that I'm always there. Just like when you pick up the phone and if there's an emergency and you dial 911, you want to make sure someone's going to answer that call and come to your aid. I'm the district 911 in a sense. I'm the person who has to respond and be responsible whenever something happens.
He's got connections, Mrs. S.
He does. Everyone knows him. He definitely does.
He's famous.
He is famous. He is famous. Maybe he's famous as you.
I don't know. Mrs. S. Maybe one day.
That's impossible.
Well, Extra Eyes, do you have any more questions?
I don't know. I'm kind of reconsidering my career choices now.
I know. It
might
sounds
be a
like,
superintendent.
it sounds like a fun job with lots of different things to do, because we like to do lots of different things. And it sounds like a fun job. All right. Well, I guess that's all. Thank you so much for your time.
So much.
We appreciate it.
I'm happy to do it. And if I can ever be of any more help, just give me a call.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. You want to say bye to the kiddos?
I'll see y'all later.
Bye, kids. Have a great day.
Bye.